Live or die. Make your choice. This is a horrible film school. Take a seat and slowly rip open your trapper keepers. I am Chris, and I'm here with Mr. Ryan Hootie.
What's up, boys? Welcome to the new year, a year that sees Saw turn 20 years old.
Jesus, do we feel old yet? And the greatest gamer of them all, Mr. Nasty, a.k.a. Jigsaw Joey. Welcome to 2024, boys and girls, the year of the dragon. Dragging these nuts all over them New Year's resolutions. Can I get a hell yeah?
Hell yeah.
When did you write that?
Hell
2
yeah.
years ago? New year, new me, fuck you, 2023.
Not to be a moron, but is it really the year of the dragon?
Oh, yeah. I had to look that up for Mr. James Owan. Why do people always shit on the prior year as soon as the new one starts? It just seems like bad karma, man. But last year we had, what happened bad in 2023? Bad shit happens all the time. Well, there was like
a lot of wars, but
there was like an earthquake in Japan and a plane like exploded in the same day. No, that happened yesterday.
The Titanic.
That was yesterday? So yeah, fuck 2024.
That's
fucking 20. That's the first. We're off to a banging start, Joe. Which doll would be your serial killing avatar? Akin to Mr. Billy the Puppet from the Saw franchise. Cabbage Patch Kid. Motherfucker, I wrote down the exact same thing. Oh, you know how sinister that would fucking be? You know that little motherfucker just sitting there with he's sitting in a pool of blood? Yeah, it's in like the, like in the nightgown where you can't even see his fucking feet and it's just like soaked in blood crawling at your ass. That'd be He's got that yarn hair. And Cabbage Patch Kids for the win.
I would pick Tickle Me Elmo. A toy that literally killed people.
Fuck. Oh, shit.
Literally killed
I forgot about that. Wasn't it like electrocuting kids back in the 90s or something?
Well, I mean, parents were literally going in UFC fist fights over the damn thing,
So today's assignment, 2004's Saw. Might be the shortest title we cover here. Today's lesson, death is a shortcut. That's on the poster in Denmark. I thought that was pretty fucking badass.
That is pretty solid. I feel like the foreign posters always have either better imagery or better taglines.
Yeah, I guess they probably feel the same way about like things that get imported to America because you have like the weirdo take on shit. Like I think the Shin Godzilla poster in America is considered like way more sinister than the Japanese version.
Oh, okay.
It's just that like uncanny valley.
The one where he's like looking back over his shoulder, like, "Hey, you could be next."
And they made the important distinction in that poster is you can't see his fucking eyes. It's just like black. It's like all shadow on his face. So this was a random assignment landed in my lap. I will take these reins and get us started with some fan reviews here. Taking both of these from 2005, so both within a couple of months of when the movie came out in 2004. Start with the negative one here. The title of this review is The Last Piece of the Jigsaw equals crap. From November 2005. So this is within a month of the release, the wide release. This movie is a poor attempt of an intellectual horror movie. I was shocked to later learn that this movie had received box office acclaim and a 7.5 rating on IMDb. Don't know which one's worse, the plot or the intelligence of most of the people who thought this movie was great. It looked as though the writer was up late one night watching an episode of Survivor while flipping through channels on MTV where Nine Inch Nails was playing. And subconsciously thought to himself, what if the sadistic challenges were turned into a horror movie? Clearly didn't pay attention to the storyline as it was littered with loose plot holes, completely pretentious, and a time waster. 1 out of 10 Saws.
I didn't feel like the movie really came off as like being intellectually superior or anything. Like they weren't really trying to like spread any sort of messages.
This was no elevated horror. This is what you're telling me here?
No. It sounds like this guy's trying to say they're being kind of pretentious in the way they came off.
Yeah, I think it's the fact that it's a thriller is kind of like what pisses this person off. The fact that they're like, gotcha, surprise aspect of it. Maybe he felt like they were, I don't know, trying to be smart by giving him a thrill. Thrillers are, I don't know, it's like Seven, comparing this to Seven. Seven's like an intellectual movie. This is...
I was about to say, I wonder if this person came away from this thinking they were trying to do a type of 7 film.
Right.
And that's why they're pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't feel like this was a whole thing of, oh, who is Jigsaw? I mean, it really wasn't an established fucking character. This isn't an episode of Scooby-Doo where an established character is always the bad guy. This was literally somebody you see on screen for like 2 seconds.
Yeah, it was more like one of those, oh, fuck, bro, moments at the end. Then, like, I had to put the pieces together.
Yeah, definitely didn't
Pieces,
feel like
you
it was
say.
like much of a mystery. I guess like a cop mystery, sure, but comparing it to like 7, which is what it sounds like they're doing, it's 2 totally different movies.
Yeah, I think this person definitely, which again, this is November 05. You haven't seen anything like this necessarily, or what this genre would become, so maybe this person's just in shock of what they saw, and they're just slamming shit against the wall. Who knows? Follow it up with a positive one here titled, I Loved It, from February 2005. Movies like Saw are the ones that make us believe in the horror genre. It's because of such movies that we like to see horror thriller movies. Let me tell you that after watching Saw, I wanted to buy the ticket and watch it again, because I finally got to see a real gripping and tightly directed horror movie. The movie is very exciting, and it has a lot of goosebumps. However, if you are faint of heart, please do not see this movie. There is a lot of gore and violence, and it will make you jump out of your seat. I just cannot wait for the DVD to come out, because I really want to buy this. My recommendation to you is you watch Saw, have a good time like I did. Also, the movie has a great twist. 10 out of 10.
I guess this goes back to being 2005 with the movie has a lot of gore and violence in it.
Yeah, it's shocking to kind of see that as a take when I was looking through the reviews and then comparing it to the things we've been watching and kind of dissecting for the past couple of years. It's mild, I would say, at best here.
Well, the thing is, too, like, I watched, for the review, I watched the unrated version of the movie.
Oh, yeah, there's an
like,
unrated?
Yeah, the stuff they had to cut out. Like, the most gory thing they cut out was, like, one of the characters is digging through, like, guts, like, viscera and shit. Like, yeah, sure, that was pretty bloody and brutal. But, you know, back in 2005, all you saw was the rated R version. They cut that shit out. It's weird with this movie because, in the same vein as Hostel, they say those 2 movies kind of gave birth to the whole torture porn genre.
Yeah, because they're back to back.
Neither one of the movies
04,
had that much gore and violence in them, for the most part. I'm sure they had their moments, but their subsequent sequels and stuff, that's what really, took it from fucking level 1 up to level 11.
I would say that Hostel took it up a notch further than Saw did. Saw's pretty tame for the most part.
Yeah, when they come out a year apart,
Hostel.
so I guess it's like that bar was set, so Hostel raised it. Saw 2 the next level, Hostel 2 the next level, and it's gotten us all the way to Terrifier 2, if you will.
Did you see the poster? You guys see the posters for Terrifier 3?
Was it the Christmas one where he's holding the axe?
The Christmas one, dude, where
Yeah,
you
it
got
looks
Santa
fucking
Claus.
dope. I was thinking it was coming out this year just because of that poster, but I guess it's next holiday season.
Jeez, 2025?
It's gotta be because it's got Christmas imagery all over it, right?
He said he's taking the runtime down. So
Oh, so it's on
we're
another
not gonna be in
2.5
store for
hours.
another 3. It sucks because I would
Damn
sit
it,
through
Hootie.
3 hours.
I want the
Man, so
we
upset.
want the Lord of the Rings 4-hour cuts where it's all extended. See fucking Sauron, and you get to see Art the Clown just fucking cutting people in half.
Dude, you
for
see fucking Art the
12
Clown
hours.
like just splitting Frodo in half with a fucking hacksaw.
Don't talk about Frodo like that. Maybe
Sam's
Merry
over in
or
the
Pippin.
corner screaming like a bitch with his eyes popped out.
Aren't we supposedly going to learn about his backstory in this film? Supposedly?
Oh, is that the Art the Clown? Is
Oh,
that
they've
we're
been
taking that
feeding
art?
us like little breadcrumbs throughout the second movie. So yeah, I would see that being the pretty like obvious next step.
Okay. Maybe he's Santa Claus. Maybe that's the twist.
Wouldn't that be something? Krampus.
Oh, speaking, I just watched Krampus
That's a good
Oh yeah,
movie.
first time.
for the first time.
It was good.
Yeah,
Super fucking creepy, man.
it was better
What'd you
than
think
I thought,
about
and
the?
it was very creepy.
Was it the Jack in the Box? It's like a big ass snake, and he's swallowing the girl. Oh, dude, that shit is so fucked up.
That was unnerving.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Oh, the CGI in it sucks dick. It's really bad. The gingerbread characters with the nail gun.
The gingerbread was the worst part of the film.
Wasn't Toni Collette in that as well?
It's a really good movie. Oh, yeah, she's in it.
She's fantastic, yes.
She's so good. Scream Queen. We forgot about her.
And the guy from Parks and Rec and Severance. I don't know his name, but that's where he's from.
Adam Scott.
Mm-hmm. Adam Scott.
Sure.
From Step Brothers. Derek.
From Step Brothers. There you go.
He makes him lick that fucking dog turd.
He does. I got a belly full of white dog shit in me. All right, back on rails here. Let's talk about Saw from 2004. Talking about the crew. This guy doesn't need much of an introduction. We touched on him before. Directed by Mr. James Wan, Australian filmmaker, known for quite a few big horror franchises that are still making boatloads of money. Insidious, Conjuring, second Aquaman just came out. So he's definitely come a long way from this. You don't really see that kind of ascension from an indie horror director. So you got to clap for that, even if you're not a fan of his work.
Yeah, we talked about Mr. Wan on pretty much in depth during the Conjuring episode. You want to hear more about
Malignant?
Mr. Wan? Check that one out.
Malignant. Malignant's coming for you.
Every reference,
motherfuckers.
Malignant.
It's coming.
I'd like to revisit it. I actually talked about it here. The way, I don't know, I think we talked about it during the Conjuring about the way he films his movies. But the way he films his movies, you can tell his true calling. It might not be horror. It might be action movies.
Yeah.
If you watch his horror movies, they're all filmed with that fluidity. That translates. I mean, it's why he got the job to direct both Aquaman movies and Furious 7. But if you watch Malignant, the way he films Malignant.
Yeah, that's what's so cool about it, man.
It's a horror
action movie.
It's a horror action movie.
Even with Saw, there is callbacks to like a Tony Scott, the way he uses filters with different shots in the film that I could definitely see connected.
All right, Jimmy Wan. He directed this movie. Also a co-writer. His writing partner here, a fellow by the name of Lee Whannell, who also wrote Insidious, Saw 2. He's now become a director. He directed Insidious 3 and The Invisible Man from a few years ago. It was actually like really underrated. A lot of people went kind of bonkers for that movie. So he's kind of become his own thing now. So pretty amazing to see two film school kids from Australia figuring it out together.
He wrote one of my guilty pleasure horror movies, Cooties.
Cooties. Is that Elijah Wood?
With Elijah Wood and Rainn Wilson.
I think I seen a poster. I never saw it.
It's literally like horror, or not horror version, like a one of the Day of the Dead type movies in a school with like not really middle schoolers, but what's the one before middle school? Elementary school.
Elementary, yeah. Like
it's like
what's the one?
It's like a zombie
Cuties.
movie with elementary kids. It's so good.
Circle, circle, dot, dot. Now you got your cootie shot. You remember that? He said, "No, I never got cooties. Never got the vaccine either."
Never heard.
He's
of that
anti-vax.
bullshit.
He says, "Fuck cooties." Yeah, but he was a writer on this. Story was by James Wan and Lee Whannell. They kind of came up with the concept together, but Lee actually penned the script for the movie.
Insidious 3 was not the best Insidious by a long shot.
Yeah.
So that is kind of a black
I think this is directorial debut, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Is it considered better than 2?
I don't remember the third one at all.
The sequels are so forgettable that I don't. Yeah.
For me, the first one was forgettable because I don't watch any of that shit.
Whoa! Hot take. Take.
No, thank you.
You watched Conjuring. I watched
The Conjuring. That's enough.
That's
Same
enough.
shit.
Yeah, that's all I got behind the scenes. Like we said, this is a pretty independent production, so not a lot of big names aside from the two creative minds that kind of put all this together.
I had something in connection to how small this film was. Tortured Films produced this, and they have produced all 10 Saw movies, including Spiral, and strangely enough, Yes Man, starring Jim Carrey.
Torture
Fuck
film?
yeah. Is it Twisted Pictures? Is that what it's
Twisted
called?
Pictures, I thought. It's got such a cool fucking logo. That's the only reason.
It does have a cool logo. It's like the nail going through the barbed wire. I think they became a company just to produce this movie. So it's definitely like their bread and butter. All right, so moving on, behind the scenes, let's talk about some of what went into making this bad boy. Pretty interesting fact, this movie was shot in 18 days. That's like 2.5 weeks, man. It's the last time you did something that effectively.
I wish I had like the number of hours that it took. So I can say that. 24. You said days. I said the weeks, and then we had.
I bet we can add like AI to do it in here one day, like on the fly voice calculation.
We'll just have AI start
600 hours.
That's a crazy tight schedule.
Yeah, I mean they definitely had to have mapped out everything they were going to do.
I think I read somewhere that they didn't even have rehearsals.
Right, like they were recording rehearsals, basically.
I could just see one of the actors. What's my motivation? If I could figure it out.
Tell what Danny Glover's ass
You're done for the day.
They didn't have no fucking rehearsals. Like he did good. He did good, Danny Glover. But at the same time, there was a few scenes. He's shooting the gun and he fucking drops the magazine. He says, "What the fuck? You a fucking cop, bro? What do you mean, what the fuck?"
That was a great line reading. The movie was first screened in January 2004 at the Sundance Film Festival. Had a super positive review, so Lionsgate picked up the distribution rights. It was planned as a straight-to-video release, which is crazy. They decided instead to release it theatrically in October 2004 in North America.
Wise decision. As this
somebody
is
like
considered
retired
like
off
one of
that,
the
right?
highest grossing whatever horror movies of all time. I guess movies of all time, really.
Yeah, like it was the first one since Scream that like broke the bank as far as an R-rated horror
$1 million
movie.
budget and it returned over $100 million.
Right.
That's fucking crazy.
These are the kind of movies to where studio execs can retire, can just sit back and just milk the rest of their career.
Right.
But shit, what are the ones that pass it up do?
Like Jason Blum pretty much did this with the Paranormal Activity movie. That was made for like $15K. He bought that up and made hundreds of millions of dollars off of it. You never have to do anything again at that point.
Did Blumhouse do Halloween? The new ones?
Yeah, they did the new trilogy.
Of course they did. Joey, how do you feel about those?
I loved Halloween Ends.
Oh my fucking
I
God.
thought it was fucking fantastic.
Fantastic.
Not enough movies nowadays take chances. That movie took a chance, and in my opinion, it fucking soared.
Yeah, they recorded somebody taking a dump for 2 hours, Joey. That's taking a chance, too. Is that something you want to say?
I even enjoyed Halloween Kills. Had some of the best kills of the series.
You're just fucking trolling,
It's going to be so long before we get to even talk about it.
Michael Myers is mowing through firemen.
Oh,
2018
so
Halloween.
cool,
the only one
dude.
worth watching in that series.
Had that fire axe. He was just going to town, bro.
And had the dude from Breakfast Club being an
the worst part was
badass.
the
fucking Tommy. God, son of a bitch.
Tommy.
Evil dies tonight.
But anywho, yeah, made a ton of money. Whoever made that decision, and wherever you are, I'm sure you're drinking Mai Tais on the beach right now. So Juan pitched this idea to Winnell of two men chained opposite sides of a bathroom with a dead body in the middle of the floor, and they figure out why and how they're there. End of the movie, they realize that the person in the room is the reason they are locked in the room. To which Winnell said, "Open my diary," at the same time, and wrote the word Saw.
It's such an easy concept. These are the kind of movies that make you sit back and go, I am a moron for not coming up with something like this.
And then you try, and your ideas are even worse dog shit, and you're incapable of executing it. Another kind of interesting note, the character of Jigsaw did not even come up until months later. Winnell was having migraines, convinced he had a brain tumor, and he imagined a character who had been given a short amount of time to live, combined with the idea of putting others in a situation where they had to choose what they would do if they had a few minutes to live.
You couldn't have me as an x-ray technician.
Why?
You could not have me doing the fucking CAT scan, bro. As soon as it comes back and I read the results, it's not a tumor.
It's not a tumor.
I would just be
Who
saying,
was your daddy?
And then even when it was a tumor, like,
do?
it's a tumor. I would even do it still as like a comedic voice.
You should have a soundboard.
It'll be tough for that patient.
Yeah, it's fucked up, man. Bedside manners, not your forte.
They'd be putting down their emergency contact. It'd be their father's name. Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Oh, man. I'm on a roll tonight.
Yeah, that was kind of funny that Jigsaw was all like secondary to the idea here, and he is basically what this franchise becomes. Like the whole idea of two guys locked in a room is literally one movie idea, and then some shit he came up with a few months later kind of becomes the seed that becomes a franchise that's making bank 20 years later.
Well, shit, the initial idea was I think we were locked in the elevator or something, so it was even more small scale.
Even smaller, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's just Devil, which was a god-awful movie.
Oh, it was a Shyamalan, right?
Yes,
Hootie's
it was.
boy.
You know, my boy.
Hootie's
My boy. I went and saw it in theaters.
Yikes.
Damn right. I was rock hard.
Yikes.
This is kind of a Shyamalan movie, the way it plays out.
But it's not
by
enough
Shyamalan, but
not to be a Shyamalan movie for me to appreciate it a little more.
How about that? So I watched Saw, the first one, obviously, for this podcast. And then I said, I wonder where the series has gone. So I went and watched Saw 10.
Wait, you went from 1 to 10?
And
Is that a direct sequel?
Yeah. I ain't got time to go from
What do you mean?
1
Why
to
a direct
10.
sequel? The sequels are subsequent, like 2, 3, 4, and 5.
I thought 10 was like a direct sequel to the OG. They're doing like the reheat thing. I might be full of shit. I've never seen it.
Well, I did see it. And they have made Jigsaw, Tobin and Bell, a fucking hero.
Legend, baby.
Oh, well, they
supposed
do
to be
that
rooting
throughout
for
the
this
rest of
dude.
the movies, too. I'll talk about it a little bit later.
It's like, what the fuck is happening?
That,
This dude's killing people, and you're supposed to be happy
like
about
that.
it.
They might not do it in a way that's so blatant as 10, but they do kind of like see him as a, not really a martyr, but somebody responsible for making other people change their lives. Maybe like a sadistic inspirational coach or something like that.
Yeah. But yeah, kind of going back to 7, that's like the whole thing about John Doe, ironically named John in that movie, is that you kind of agree with some of his ideology, as fucked up as it is. I think that's kind of why people make so many comparisons between the two.
I can't get behind it, man. I used to be the biggest Punisher fan before that came under scrutiny. But even as an avid Punisher fan, this shit's too far.
They take it a whole nother level with this fucking movie because it's goddamn law enforcement saying that he's innocent or not a killer. I'm gonna talk about it later.
Yeah.
Technically not a killer, yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Technically, he just made somebody crawl through barbed wire.
Technically. All right, let me get back to a few more notes we got here. In order to help the studios take interest in the script, Winnell provided $5,000 to make a 7-minute short film based on the script's jaw trap scene, which they thought would be the most effective. Winnell played David, the man wearing the reverse bear trap.
Did you guys watch this at all?
No, I saw that you sent a thumbnail, so I figured you might bring me some fresh perspective to it.
I watched the short. The short is literally the entire scene with Amanda. That's the short for the most part, with a little bit less like exposition and reasoning behind it. But the short's worth watching for one thing and one thing alone. And as Chris mentioned in our Discord messages, we have a picture of the Jigsaw puppet,
Billy,
with a fucking bowler's hat. And it's like the cutest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life, man.
It is adorable.
It's fucking awesome.
But if it was a Cabbage Patch Kid, it would be 10 times fucking
so
more terrifying.
fucking dope. Oh shit! If we have a thumbnail for this, I want it to be the fucking bowler hat Jigsaw, or a Billy puppet. Excuse me.
And speaking to the short film, we got a note here. Juan shot it over 2 days and transferred the footage to DVDs that they actually shipped along with the script. Winnell wanted to play the lead character in the feature film. They sold themselves as a director-actor team rather than just 2 people who wrote a script. So Juan told producers, Lee has to act in it and I have to direct it.
It worked out for everyone involved because Winnell's he's starting to make a name for himself as well. I know you talked about a few of his credits, but he's doing pretty well for himself.
But he's not really an actor, right? He's more of like a filmmaker at this point.
Oh, no. You talking about Lee Winnell?
Yeah.
Dude, he's been credited like 30 times. Like as an
actor?
Yeah.
Really interesting.
You look very
It
familiar.
was in Matrix Reloaded.
Dude, you know what tripped me out? How much this fucking guy looked like Ezra Miller in this movie.
Yeah, oh yeah. And in the fucking short, he looks just like him.
Refresh?
I was like, this is a Flash going back in time and been in this fucking movie, and I just didn't realize it till now.
God.
That's the real fucking twist. It's part of the multiverse.
Now that you say it, now I can't unsee it.
But yeah, speaking to the money, throw that out there. The budget was $1 to $1.2 million. And the box office pulled in $103.9 million. That's roughly 100x, boys.
That's fucking huge. You always have to have respect, too, for when, like, an artist, which, I mean, I guess you can call, like, directors artists, right? When an artist, like, banks on themselves. I read that Mr. Wan, instead of taking, like, an upfront salary, actually settled for a percentage of the actual box office. He made out like gangbusters. Knowing Wynell said, cut me a fucking check for $50K and I'm good.
But you always hear those stories, and I'm like, that's fucking awesome. Somebody did that. You never hear about the guys who did that, and then the movie made $5. You know?
Oh, like the guy for like.
I want to interview one of those guys.
4 or some shit.
I'm not gonna take any money to direct Critters 8. They are what you eat. I want profits.
Let me win again, dude. I'm ready to get into. Look, the sooner we get into Critters, the sooner we get to see Leonardo DiCaprio in Critters. What was it? Critters 4? No, it's
3
Critters
or
2?
4?
I think it's 3. The one with the Easter Bunny, I think, is the one he's in.
So you all just got sports betting. So you're about to go into the entire world of sports betting, and it's a lot on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it.
X.
Everybody will tell you what bet slips won, but nobody tells you what bet slips lost.
Look at this shit, cashing it out. Bam. Damn, you're still in the negative, bro. What the fuck happened?
Which segues us into our reading for prize picks. Who do you want to go for that?
They want Christian McCaffrey on the over this week.
If only. Chris McCaffrey is out. That's just a tidbit free from the show.
There you go. There's your Taco Tuesday. Is that what they call that?
Even though this will come out, what, a week, 2 weeks later?
Yeah,
what do you know?
It's still going to be
all day. He's not playing on the Friday when this comes out. I know that.
Captain Hindsight, like from fucking South Park. I got one little tidbit here. James Wan, he handcrafted the original Billy Puppet.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's pretty fucking dope. Like,
pretty impressive.
I mean, to create something that's literally, we throw this fucking word around quite a bit, but for good reason. A horror icon.
He's a horror icon, and he was practically made.
Iconic, and was like a last-minute addition to the whole, the movie itself. So,
isn't it strange that in Saw, the person who does the killing isn't even the focal point? It's this damn puppet.
That's the thing that's interesting about Jigsaw. He doesn't kill people, man. He doesn't.
Like Charles Manson, get that guy to jail.
He didn't do it, man. I think he's dead now.
But yeah, they throw. I think
rest
they just
in peace.
Created.
What's the opposite of rest in peace? Before you go any further,
go to hell.
Rest in hell.
Burn in hell. BIH.
BIH.
Yeah, motherfucker. BIH, brother.
Burn in hell. BIH. But yeah, I did read that he made that puppet himself out of good old clay and paper mache. Made me think of Joy and his paper mache crafting activities he apparently did under the sheets at night when I wasn't paying attention.
I made my own paste.
Oh goddamn!
I was like, what is that paste in Dream Warriors, Joy? He's that's water and flour.
You gotta never take art classes, man. Shit.
Water and flour. Joey preferred that gold medal.
I was in art. Hootie's in that class where they got to give you a bib when you draw and shit on yourself.
Damn right. I was in horticulture, baby.
Horticulture. That was the one where the OGs were. That was where you could listen to DMX in class in fucking horticulture.
X gonna give it to you. He gonna give it to you.
But yeah, apparently his eyes were painted ping pong balls. He was stuffed with paper towel rolls. They pulled him around the set with a fishing line. So a lot of cool practical stuff attached to old Billy the Puppet. And the name is never uttered in any of the movies, apparently. It's just like a funny name that Mr. Wan gave to his creepy-ass doll.
I had one bit of TMZ drama connected to this film.
Oh, God. Don't tell me Billy got canceled. What the fuck did he do?
Billy did not get canceled.
Billy the Puppet was fingering Annabelle.
This is the Carrie Ellis bullshit?
As of this podcast, this is the Carrie Ellis bullshit.
What did Carrie Ellis do?
Carrie Ellis filed a lawsuit against the producers and the production company because he only received a nominal salary with back-end revenues. That's it, just back-end revenues, which I'm sure was handsome.
It's $1 million movie.
He claimed to have been promised 1% of the profits, which would have been considerable since the film made, as you said, Chris, $100 million globally. The case was finally settled out of court, but due to disagreements, Elvis chose not to be involved with any of the sequels until Saw 3D in 2010.
Come around. Money talks, baby.
Came around.
Money talks.
He said, I got to settle
See that stump in 3D? Jesus Christ, screaming at the top of his lungs. He did have one of the best lines in the movie when he said, fuck this shit. That was fucking funny.
That shit. Yeah, I did like the character
so
turn.
fucking frustrated with that goddamn
fuck
chain.
that shit. That's how I feel
He
like.
was sweating his ass
That's
off.
how I feel when I'm editing this podcast and there's like 10 minutes left and I'm like, fuck this shit. I'm just going to do it.
How do we feel about his performance in the movie?
No 2 thumbs up for me,
Dude,
pal.
this is like some William Shatner over the top fucking shit, bro.
There were some weird moments in there. I'm like, I thought you were the only actor on set here. Really? What the fuck are you doing?
He was going for an Oscar in Saw.
There's some stuff with him I will go into when we get to the actor piece.
Yeah.
That I think I know why he did that.
But I mean, it was an 18-day shoot. I doubt he got more than like 2 takes of those emotional scenes. You know.
And apparently, there's no fucking rehearsal, so it's just go.
Yeah, but they give you a script to fucking practice at home.
All right, boys, you ready to get into it? Ready to go into this dirty ass bathroom? I'd like to play a game.
Dr. Gordon, this is your wake-up call. Every day of your working life, you have given people the news that they're going to die soon. Now you will be the cause of death. Your aim in this game is to kill Adam. You have until 6 on the clock to do it.
We open up the movie underwater with Adam, played by Mr. Lee Winnell, who was a writer on the movie. We mentioned him already. He wakes up in a water-filled bathtub, kicks the plug, and we see a mysterious object sucked down the drain. As he calls for help, we learn that he is not alone. Dr. Lawrence Gordon, played by Cary Elwes, who you may know from Princess Bride, Robin Hood Men in Tights, that asshole Jonas from Twister, is in the same room and turns on the lights. A body lies between them with a revolver and a cassette recorder. There's your fucking setup. It's that simple.
You also left out that Cary Elwes is in Rebel Moon, so let's go ahead and do that justice.
Rebel Moon.
How about that, Zack Snyder? The Zack Snyder cut.
Zacky Snide.
That dude does have a catalog of bangers, even though like pretty much the late 80s, late 90s, that was his era. After that, he's on the back nine of his acting career.
He's so like sweet in Princess Bride, but he's such a douche and everything else.
He also left out Liar Liar, and
that.
he was the fucking asshole in Days of Thunder.
He's the asshole in like everything
there too.
I mean, he is. That's
it's the haircut, man.
That's his role.
It's him and like Carl from Ghost, you know, like they just can't help but be that fucking guy. We saw him in Belko Experiment.
Yeah, he was a dick.
Good looking guy, but what a fucking asshole.
So apparently, Cary Elwes was on a fast track to be one of the best Shakespearean actors in the country.
Yeah, he's definitely got that look to him.
And then chose to be in films because obviously it's more lucrative. And I think that's why you see him just really going for it in Saw.
He said, "You know what, Romeo and Juliet, this is not, but I'm gonna fucking bring it.
I will make this mine."
Y'all see that new Cary Elwes joint? How many people said that leaving that fucking theater that night? 0.
Is that the guy from Princess Bride?
Fuck yeah.
Oh yeah, I really liked him in Robin Hood Men in Tights.
But I mean, he's
same movie to me.
He's bringing star power here. He helps get this movie made. He's one of the first people to read the script, so can't really shit on him too much. I don't think we would have had the movie if it weren't for him.
So I got a question here. How the fuck was Adam asleep in the water, not drowning?
No fucking idea. The first of many plot holes, but underwater for at least a few minutes, the water was calm, asleep, I guess, or drugged. I don't fucking know. Some people can lay back in the water and it doesn't go up their nose. They have like superpowers.
Well, he's Ezra Miller, so he's like, I guess he's got the Flash's powers. Can the Flash drown?
He don't talk to fish. Is this the fucking prequel for Aquaman? Now that we're really getting to it. But yeah, you remember I always think about, it's one of the Jean-Claude Van Damme's where he's like meditating underwater, laying backwards. It always freaked me out as a kid. Because I hate water up my damn nose, man.
Maybe Jason Momoa finds that object that floats down the drain that you see at the beginning of the film.
Yeah, it's all about pollution. That's what the fuck it is. And it was like glowing blue, right?
It was, yeah, the whole opening's kind of bizarre.
We'll come back to it later, but it is definitely like more questions than answers here.
Dude, when the camera pans up and shows the dead guy in his undies in the middle of the floor, I can't believe they didn't have the balls to go on in and like show a giant shit stain on his boxers to really push forward the idea that he is actually dead.
That would have fucking sold it. The unrated version, I'm sure.
Just a big old fucking brown dookie streak right there.
What if Dr. Lawrence is like, he hasn't shit himself yet?
That's how you know he's not dead. And then all of a sudden he just gets like a little volcano. Oh, God. Team America style. He's just shitting for like 30 minutes.
To make this fucking believable, I gotta shit.
Shitting on command. But yeah, they're just set up. That's it's amazing. I can explain that in a paragraph, and that's kind of what the whole movie is about, you know. Envelopes in their pockets contain tapes. Gordon's envelope holds a key and a bullet, but the key does not unlock their chains. Both tapes reveal a distorted voice. Adam is called a voyeur and challenged to act, while Gordon must kill Adam by 6 o'clock to save his family. Hacksaws are found in the shitter, initially believed to be for the chains, until Gordon determines they are for their feet. There was some thick-ass stool in that bowl, so maybe the man got his shit out before he committed suicide.
Man, any of you boys ever took a shit that you felt so proud of that you drew a little heart in the dookie?
With the shit?
Some of the dookie, like the heart that was on the bowl.
That's still on the old bucket list.
That might stay there for me, but that's just me.
I feel like you have to be like in a truck stop bathroom in like your 80s, and it just gets everywhere, and you say, fuck it. I'm signing this one.
I get it.
I'm signing this one. Who cares if I get a disease?
Just like at Bubba Hotep when he writes some shit out his walls.
He's sucking my soul through my asshole.
There's also a lot of like throwing objects back and forth here across the room for these actors.
Yeah, I was a little
throughout
annoyed with this
scene. No one in real life, Cary Elwes couldn't throw shit anywhere.
Every time he went to throw something, the blocking when it landed was like off. I was like, this dude obviously has never thrown a baseball in his fucking life. He'd be like, ugh, and it would like roll on the ground to the left.
It's the Keanu Reeves thing. Like Keanu Reeves can't throw a lot of balls because he's been in hardball, he's been in the replacements,
Freddie
and
Prinze,
they have to cut around it. Yeah, Freddie Prinze is another example.
It's fucking weird, right?
It's very like they can't be human beings. It's very strange.
Dude, right here where they're introducing themselves to each other. Cary Elwes, his fucking character, Dr. Gordon, he asks, "Are you going to tell me your name or what?" I'm over there saying his name's like Nemo or Ladle or some shit. Imagine like this super serious, dire situation, and this doctor has to address this guy's Ladle for the next hour and a half.
But yeah, I mean, the whole reveal about we have to cut our feet. It's one of those like, it's a good moment. It's hard having seen this 100 times and everything we've seen since, but
I used to work at a hardware store, as you two know, and I know my way around a handsaw. We're talking fresh off the shelf handsaw couldn't cut through your bone, much less the rusty ass handsaws they had.
it was a low budget, man. What the fuck did you want them to have? Like the Jaws of Life from like fucking.
I was just saying that if you know your tools, that's unbelievable.
But a good hacksaw though can cut through that fucking metal. That chain.
Yeah, so is this a hacksaw or is this a handsaw?
What?
I think it's technically a hacksaw.
What makes something a hacksaw? Is it the teeth that are serrated a certain way?
It's the double-sided. You got to screw in the tips, and a handsaw is like one whole unit.
Handsaw is that big motherfucker that play like bluegrass on.
So there's more torque. There's torque on a handsaw because the screws make the blade tight. That makes sense. Got it.
Taut. Taut.
You can tell I've worked 0 days in a hardware store in my life. But yeah, also with the voice, I mean, it's kind of a spoiler to say it now, but the guy who's doing the voice is an actor by the name of Tobin Bell, who I don't even really think I called out in all these notes because he's not really in the movie, but cast solely for his voice. So I thought that was pretty interesting, considering how much fucking bank he's made since.
I guess a good way to describe his voice is like menacing.
It's very deep.
I had some things on Tobin Bell here because I was like you, just interested in this dude because this is all that I know that he's ever been in.
He was in Heat, right? He's been in a few good movies,
Heat.
yeah.
He was in Mississippi Burning, and he was in The Firm with Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I did see The Firm recently, too. Because I think he has, like, Weird Soul Patch in all those 90 movies. I'm like, is this fucking Jigsaw?
It's this fucking Jigsaw. Tom Cruise. Cruise, get the fuck out. So I had two very strange things here. One, he considers Saw 2 to be his favorite in the entire franchise.
Oh, yeah? Does he have the most screen time?
Right, because he got the most fucking screen time.
There you go. And there's no way. There's a whole movie called Jigsaw. I haven't seen it, but I'm assuming he's in
Wait, he's not in Jigsaw?
I would hope he is. Also, he donated 2 vials of his own blood to be mixed with red ink for 1,000 posters to help promote Saw 3. All proceeds went to the American Red Cross.
All proceeds went to Cary Elwes' lawsuit.
Cary, you coming back for the third one, right?
I don't know if I want the man's blood on a poster in my house.
It depends, like, on your level of fandom. Like, if you're someone who's willing to buy a Saw 3D poster, if you were that into it, then you're probably gonna want a little bit of his blood too. That'd be fucking cool. You can run like experiments and shit on it to see if you really had cancer.
What if they didn't sell all 1,000? That would suck.
Yeah,
We still got
there's like 3.
200 left.
You on eBay, one guy's got like 5. He's been trying to get rid of forever. I know what Joey's getting for Christmas
All
next
you gotta
year.
do is put Mondo on it and I'll fucking buy it.
You damn right.
It's got big bold letters, Tobin Bell's blood.
Tobin Bell fucking bled for this. The film reveals the first of way too many, in my opinion, flashbacks of previous victims, Paul and Mark, showing their failed escape attempts. We meet Detective Tapp, played by Danny Glover, who you may know as being too old for this shit, in a movie series
Roger
called Lethal Weapon.
Murtaugh.
Fucking Murtaugh.
I'm getting too old for this shit.
And Detective Singh, played by Ken Leung, who you may know as the one fucking guy from Rush Hour.
Oh shit, that wasn't James Wan playing this character?
He was also the Porcupine Thing in X-Men, I believe.
First of all,
The Porcupine
if you're going to
Thing.
talk about
Here's
Rush
name.
Hour, you better call him Sang, which is his fucking name in that movie. Name is Sing in this movie, and it's Sang in
That's
Rush
not
Hour.
what Danny Glover says. Hey, Sing, get the fuck over here. Look at this.
Now wipe yourself off. You're breathing. $50 million? Man, who you think you kidding out? Chelsea Clinton? Dude, I
He's
fucking love that
badass in
movie
Rush
so
Hour,
much.
man.
I've been looking for your sweet and sour chicken ass.
Ken is in Oz, The Soprano, Lost. He's
yeah.
in some really good television.
He's in Rush
shows.
Hour, though. I mean, that
Fucking
kind of
Rush
Hour.
Hour.
He was in
He had
Rush
like
Hour.
no dialogue in Rush Hour. He was just like the heavy. He was like the badass martial artist. And that's all I'm ever going to think about with this guy.
The girl don't like you. Nobody likes you.
This might be my one and only time to ever go in on Danny Glover.
Yeah, go ahead and let me bow out.
Oh, Predator,
So,
right?
This man was in Lethal
Predator
Weapon,
2.
Predator 2, The Last Black Man in San Francisco, great film, the original Color Purple, Lonesome Dove, Angels in the Outfield,
Christ.
Operation Dumbo Drop,
fuck, I saw
and
all
a
those.
fucking classic, Gone Fishing.
Jesus Christ. I've seen too many of those movies to be proud of.
Talk about Shooter.
He was in
Shooter
Shooter.
was
He
dope,
has
man.
false teeth in
Fucking
that,
love
and
Shooter.
his dialogue's all
Angels in
jacked
the
up.
Outfield. That's a fucking throwback right there, man.
That's a banger.
We
of a
watched the fuck
lifetime.
out of that one. Christopher Lloyd. Fuck yeah.
Matthew McConaughey.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
How many can we name until we give up?
All right, I'm out.
He admits that he did Gone Fishing and Operation Dumbo Drop strictly for the money.
Why the fuck are we talking about Danny Glover so much?
I love Danny Glover.
He's the second
Motherfucker
bill,
ain't
right?
been in shit besides Lethal Weapon. Let's talk about Dina Meyer there.
Who was that?
Carrie, like the only
Carrie.
consistent character for the next 3 movies. Out
Oh,
of these 3.
that was the third police officer there?
Oh yeah,
I didn't even include her
That's Dina
because
Meyer. I know you did.
I didn't either.
However, she plays a key role in one of my favorite movies of all time, Starship Troopers. Man, it's Diz from Starship Troopers.
she's the main chick in
I
that?
did see that.
No, the main chick
No,
is the chick
that's,
from.
Damn, she ain't even the
Wild
main
Things.
chick in it.
Yeah, that really hot lady. I forget her name.
The one that
Charlie Sheen's
the
girl.
one that got AIDS from Charlie Sheen.
Jesus
Denise
Christ.
Richards?
Denise Richards, yep.
Denise Richards.
Gorgeous.
I don't
lady.
think
Have
that's
you
true,
seen
but all right.
her
Fake news.
OnlyFans?
Yeah.
Oh God,
She has one with her
children.
daughter.
Oh my! Oh,
All right,
It's
moving
fucking
on.
wild
Well,
up in
Moving
there.
on.
It's wild. in
that's
that house.
something. Okay.
But
this lady
yeah,
was in
Dina
Starship
Meyer,
Troopers.
man, that's Diz from Starship Troopers, one of my favorite movies. She's not in the movie very much, but she also played Kara from Dragonheart, man.
Dragonheart, yeah. Fuck
Hit me with a Dragonheart. Why you at it, Chris?
I am the last one.
That was that's Sir fucking what's his Connery?
Sean
What's his name?
Connery.
Sean Connery.
Sean Connery.
Dude, I got one from
That's a
Iron
great
right here.
fucking movie.
Next time, stab more flesh, less cloth.
Fuck,
I'll
you know
pierce
I
your
did.
heart. You already did. Oh,
God, I gotta watch Dragonheart again. Fuck, it's a good one for the kid.
You're telling me that somebody who was in Starship Troopers and it is better than Danny Glover?
All right, there's 2 detectives, Tapp and Singh, that work in a case
Carrie.
dubbed the Jigsaw Killer. There's a Carrie lady there. She has one scene, so apparently she's important later. We'll
she's
get
in
back
other
to her.
movies though.
We'll see her in the sequels. In the present day, Dr. Gordon notes that the killer does not murder, but sets up life-threatening situations. Flashback, once again, features the police interrogating Amanda Young, played by Shawnee Smith, who is the Salt Lady, Jigsaw's sole known survivor, who claims the test made her a better person.
She starred in we talked about it last episode, Nightmare 3. Chuck Russell's The Blob.
Yeah, Hootie was
another
fapping over
Blob,
that.
I had that.
Another
I really like the Blob, man.
88 Blob.
Also played a bit part in Armageddon.
I had that. Yeah,
know that movie. She played the role of Redhead.
Oh, was she the hot redhead with Will Patton?
How the fuck do you know that?
Oh, that's a great fucking movie.
Was she the hot redhead?
No, that's a different lady. It's definitely not her.
I don't know, but from the looks of her lips in this movie, Jigsaw made her eat her way out of a goddamn dookie room or something.
There was fudge rounds after she got out of the contraption.
Shit smudged all over her face.
She was also in GTA Vice City as the radio voice of Fever 105.
That's fucking dope,
hell
man.
Yeah.
That's like some of the best shit about those games. Just listen to like the talk shows and the radio hosts and all that.
GTA 6, man, it's going to be a fucking banger.
That's going to be a banger.
Anyway, we're digressing here. So we've seen Paul and Mark get fucked up. We've seen like the first 2 failed traps go off here. We had the razor wire guy and the broken glass guy.
So razor wire guy, I feel like if Jigsaw would have threatened to share the guy's browser history with his like family or coworkers, he would have gotten out of that. I mean, because that guy just by looking at him was into like some depraved shit.
Well, according to Jigsaw, he was like a perfectly healthy, normal person. And he tried to kill himself, so he was like, "Prove you want to live, motherfucker. Claw through the razor wire." But the other guy's crime was like he was pretending to be paralyzed. Was that what it was?
He was getting a government for the check, or a check from the government.
So why the hell is Jigsaw still in the bag for the government? Like, fuck the government.
He's in the bag.
Jigsaw like trying to protect the fucking federal government. I thought Jigsaw would be more of a communist.
Like you got people out here who actually are disabled who can't get.
Oh, like people that are suffering in his place. I got you.
You talk about that guy who was taken from the government. So he knocked that man out, covered him in some flammable gelatin, and then gave him a candle.
You never know people's sexual fetishes are. He might have covered him in that shit before he knocked him out.
He took a page out of him, Jason Statham's book, and covered him in honey, because apparently honey's flammable.
The beekeeper, baby.
They keep saying that in that fucking trailer. And all the honey I got in my house, this place is a ticking time bomb.
We need to get Hootie's Honey brand in the Beekeeper movie with Jason Statham. That'd be fucking fantastic.
Hootie's Honey.
I'm the beekeeper.
I'm here to kick the bees. That's about the joke.
Have we went over that at this point Dr. Gordon is a suspect? Like the reason?
Yeah, he kind of mentions during this flashback here that he was brought in to witness the interrogation of Amanda because they believed he's a suspect because they found his pen.
No, his fleshlight.
At one of the crime scenes. It was a what?
His fleshlight.
Fleshlight.
Right there.
Pretty small for a penis.
Fleshlight at the scene.
This seemed very weak to me. It's kind of forced into the film.
Yeah, I think anything outside of the room and outside of Jigsaw and his mentality is kind of like blah. It's kind of one of my biggest pet peeves about the movie. There's so many fucking flashbacks trying to make me be interested in things.
Oh, there's flashbacks within flashbacks in the movie.
Yeah, it's fucking rough.
And the thing is,
Danny Glover's sweating his ass off.
If you hate it now, it becomes a hallmark for the series.
Yeah, I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like, I'm all about a non-linear narrative, but you got to fucking earn it. You can't just keep cramming them down my throat montage style.
The thing is, it's one of those type of movies, you see the fucking ending, right? And you go back and rewatch it. You pay super close attention for every like little detail. You actually see a few instances where it all makes sense and where it's obvious who Jigsaw actually is and how the pin light got to where it is and everything. But it's one of those, it's such an obscure detail to look for. It's like, how can you expect anybody to find the shit?
Yeah, again, kind of going back to what we were saying about that reviewer who was like, oh, this is like an intellectual puzzle. I don't believe that was the intent here. It was more thriller style.
If I'm having to watch the movie with a fucking with a magnifying glass, then that's like, it's asking too much of the viewer.
And what about the quick deaths too? That was kind of shocking on a rewatch here. Like all these traps and shit go down. People are dead like within seconds. It's definitely not the torture porn that I kind of expected on the rewatch.
I think that the rest of the franchise probably made us think that these were going to be torture porn because Saw 2, there's a lot of torture porn shit.
Oh, the rest of the franchise
I just watched Saw 10.
Is legit. If there is such a thing as torture porn, it legit is torture porn.
And there's legit like 5-minute scenes of people like slowly being cut in half and shit, right?
Yeah, that lady chopping her leg off in Saw 10 took a while.
I think I see like somebody in a pig mask coming up slowly behind Joy right now to fucking get his ass back on. Appreciate it.
Fuck that. I got the goddamn alarm on, dude.
Take me.
I'm waiting.
Adam and Dr. Gordon discover a hidden camera leading to, you guessed it, a flashback of Gordon's family getting abducted. You may recognize his wife as the lovely Miss Monica Parter, who was Trisha Poe in Con Air, you motherfuckers. So many like those characters in this movie, dude. Trisha Poe, you angel, you.
That's Scarlet Green, man. You ain't getting nowhere near my daughter. Buckle up. Man, that's such a good fucking movie. I went down a rabbit hole with this movie, man. That it almost took as long as watching the actual Saw movie for the review. You guys remember the How Do I Live Without You, right?
How do I live? Trisha Yearwood later covered by LeAnn Rimes.
You say that.
Or LeAnn Rimes, yeah.
Trisha's Rimes. Better. Go ahead and throw it out there.
The movie, or they were going to have LeAnn Rimes record that song for the movie, right? Said it was too poppy. Had Trisha Yearwood record it instead. Trisha Yearwood had no idea that LeAnn Rimes had recorded the same song. They came out the same fucking day.
Oh. On radio? How's
on
it like?
Radio. Came out the same day. They was up for an award at the Grammys.
Together?
They had LeAnn Rimes sing the fucking song right before they gave out the award for the Grammy. That went to Trisha Yearwood because it was better. Yeah, it's a whole drama behind it, man. You guys need to check this shit out.
The song is fantastic. Wow. How do I
mean, Trisha is much better than LeAnn Rimes.
It's more soulful.
She got that southern soul.
You know when she's in she's in hospital and she sees Cameron get off the fucking plane and shit. God,
emotion.
I like how Joey calls.
If you didn't get teary-eyed, you don't have a heart. You know.
I like when she's working at the bar when he first comes home from military, and the guy's like, he's like, "Who's this guy?" She says, "Oh, he's a regular." And the guy says, "A regular hound dog."
He starts barking at her.
Yet another flashback features Detective Tappan Singh breaking into Jigsaw's lair. During a confrontation, Jigsaw escapes, injuring Tap in the process. Singh pursues, but is killed by shotguns on a tripwire.
Oh, what a cool
Why this motherfucker dressed in like Obi-Wan Kenobi? They're just saying, what the fuck was that about?
He comes out looking like Floyd Mayweather with that fucking thing on.
What was that, bro? It's another plot hole here. They never look at this dude's face this whole time. Pull the fucking hood off his head.
They do look at his face. I mean, Danny Glover has eye contact with him.
You left out a key detail that added a lot of drama and shit to the situation with the guy being strapped to the chair and the goddamn drills quickly approaching his neck on each side. It's kind of hard to focus on like the killer when you're trying to save somebody that's strapped to a chair.
Well, I'm more concerned about Singh, man. He's actually a character here. He's the fucking guy from Rush Hour.
Oh, that double barrel shotgun trap, dude. It's so dead. Who needs Eddie T, man? Get Jigsaw to set up a bunch of shotgun traps around the house. You're good to go. Bing, bang, boom.
That shit was brutal, man. That was probably like the most brutal part of the whole movie, honestly.
And he just one shotgun. It's four of them.
Boom. Nasty.
So, let's talk about, trying to tie all the loose ends up nice and tight. Well, this thing just said fuck the loose ends because they were able to track down this warehouse based on a K2K symbol.
Graffiti.
Which apparently only held about 4 blocks.
Yeah, only had his 4
shitty
blocks,
game.
man.
Yeah, it's 4 shitty blocks. And a fire alarm in the background of the video. So I guess between the fire alarm and the K2K,
it's like it's classic like TV detective logic.
I didn't mind it at all. I thought it was actually kind of clever.
He was playing the VHS for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, he was doing his job. I mean, that's all the evidence you have, right?
He needed some beer and he needed to get laid, according to Singh.
He said, man, I got to get laid. I got the fleshlight. That motherfucker live at the scene. Who needs a girlfriend, bro?
The city in which the film takes place is never mentioned, at least in this film. I don't know what the sequels say. However, the map used by the detectives when reviewing the location for the fire alarms is a map of Washington, D.C.
That's fucking wild.
There you go.
I would not have guessed that. There's a lot of slow motion in this movie, too, to go with the flashbacks that kind of peeves me quite a bit, too. And we're talking about the action style that Mr. One utilizes a lot, but there's a lot of fucking like unneeded slow motion in this movie. Maybe he was padding run time. I don't know.
Oh, you say slow motion? No, there's a lot of unnecessary fast forward in this fucking movie.
Yeah, and there's a lot of the
holy
like
shit.
a Tool music video, like that guy was saying in the negative review. Thrashing and shit, a close up of somebody's like uncircumcised dick.
Yeah. Dude, the heavy metal like trap montages, they're so campy and goofy. but they really do like fill the audience with a sense of like panic and desperation.
Yeah, definitely.
We saw this in theaters, right?
I don't think I did. I definitely saw one of the sequels in the theater.
I think I saw this in theaters. And like you imagine that like that fucking heavy metal music kicks in over the loudspeakers and they're fucking thrashing about real fast. You know,
everybody gets on the skateboards right there in the fucking aisle.
You know?
Yeah, let's fucking mosh, boys. So seeing off the board, Tap intensifies his unhealthy fascination with the case, leading to obsession. Discharged from the police force, he, for some fucking reason, becomes convinced that Dr. Gordon is the Jigsaw killer. Tap moves to a house across the street, monitoring Gordon with video surveillance.
A lot of Chinese takeout.
Danny is the creepiest person in this fucking movie. I'll go ahead and throw it out there. He was in the room with this man, and he still thinks it's Dr. Gordon.
He looked him in the eyes.
He spoke to him. That damn voice is one of a kind.
I think a part of it, though, is when he gets... Did we talk about he gets his throat slit, right?
Yeah, he got injured, and it's the scar. It's like a big reveal.
The Jigsaw killer hits him in the throat with a precision, like, Assassin's Creed type fucking cut. From
he's holding the B button
under his arm and shit. But it hit him in such a way where it's, like, medically precise. Who would know how to do that better than a damn doctor?
Oh, shit. Now he's on to something. He's an oncologist, though. He's not a surgeon, right?
That, and I think he's so desperate now that his partner's been killed, he's just hanging on to whatever string he can hang on to.
So you're telling me that I can just go somewhere, put down some fucking tripwire with shotguns, and whoever hits it, that ain't on me.
Shit, man. You was running through sewage. What the fuck did you expect?
As long as it's in your house. I can do whatever I want in my house. I'll fucking Kevin McAllister the shit out of this place. I get a bunch
That's
of
that conservative mindset. What the fuck happened to Joy? He had a bunch of booby traps and shit in his house, and the power went out.
I have a little flamethrower sitting up there, burn somebody's hair.
He's hanging from the ceiling with his dick on fire from a blowtorch.
You come through that back window, I'm gonna have a bunch of damn Christmas ornaments in the floor. Step on them, go for it. See what happens.
But yeah, again, another plot hole. The whole Danny stuff is. I appreciate it most of the movie, but this is just, I don't know, doesn't fit.
I feel like it comes to a decent conclusion.
It's definitely nihilistic. We'll get to it.
The only way we learn certain details is through the whole cop drama that takes place, or the cop mystery thriller. So I think it does lend itself to the overall movie, but at the same time, it takes away from it in the sense that you don't really get to meet and establish like a relationship with the two lead characters.
In the bathroom, Gordon, assisted by Adam, discovers a box of cigarettes, a lighter, and a note suggesting he uses a poisoned cigarette to kill Adam. They attempt to fake Adam's death, but an electric shock reveals he's still alive. The box also has a one-way cell phone. They receive a call from Gordon's wife, Allison, who throws some shade at our boy Adam. Adam admits to spying for Detective Tap, witnessing Gordon fucking around at a hotel, and finding a photo of Zep, an orderly at Gordon's hospital, in his hidden photographs. As they realize the connection, the clock strikes 6.
So it turns out that Carrie Ellis' character, Dr. Gordon, is doing a little bit of unprofessionalism here. He's seeing an Asian intern after hours at some seedy hotel rooms. Looks like Larry went out for a little Chinese. Some kung pow 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 chicken. Gave her a little taste of his spring roll with some peanut sauce.
God damn.
Penis sauce.
I haven't know. Is that James Wan in a wig?
I thought she was pretty fucking hot.
Yeah, she's fucking hot, dude.
I thought she was.
It said, "Damn, he's looking all right."
Damn, James. He must work out.
Dr. Gordon pulls his cell phone out of his box and immediately remembers the night before because of, I guess, a similar-looking cell phone.
Yeah, I'm thinking like the drugs wear off over a certain amount of time is the idea.
Has to be. Another loophole. But the night before, he remembers a pig-faced monster like coming at him. That pig-faced monster roared. Why the fuck did it roar? It was like an animalistic
the pig-faced
sound.
monster was hiding in the back seat of his car. Who doesn't notice a fucking pig monster in the back seat? It's not like he's driving a minivan. It's a fucking sedan.
It's a man who was scared to get caught, Joey. You know.
And then Adam kind of gets like the same treatment in his shitty little apartment where he gets like to jump out of the closet. Is this scary at all?
What? Oh, the walking around with the power being turned off, him walking around with his camera, having to use the flash. That's fucking terrifying.
That was pretty effective.
I think it's really effective.
I think I fucked up because I watched it in the dark in 4K, and I could see the motherfucker standing in the closet for like 10 seconds.
I did not watch it in 4K.
Do not watch it in 4K.
Can we talk about? I get Adam's poor, but the dude's apartment looked fucking condemned.
It looked worse than the fucking bathroom. I thought we were in his bathroom at that point. This whole fucking movie.
Cost of
like,
living
Jesus,
in
dude.
Washington D.C. is rough.
But yeah, so he didn't. They keep reiterating the fact that he did not cheat on his wife to the point where I kind of got annoyed with the whole side plot.
No. He cheated on his wife.
No,
he at least fucked her once. I
done it
mean, because
before.
as soon as he sat down in the bed, she started taking her top off.
I don't think. I think this was the first time this was going to happen.
Oh fuck no.
He backed
He
out.
said don't.
He said there was
said
already
don't page him
established
when he's at
rules
home.
in place.
Yeah, I think
with,
it's like a
when
flirty
to
text situation.
Hell no. He had a fucking page of
that
bitch.
he's not cheating on this lady.
Nah.
He has no reason to lie to Adam about this.
No, he fucked the shit out of her. He's in denial is all it is.
Fuck this shit out
He
of him.
feels
He's about
guilty.
to die, Joy.
You really think that he didn't do it?
I don't think so.
That's crazy.
Wow, I would bet money
That's
on it.
fucking crazy.
And I got annoyed with the fact that they kept talking about it. I'm like, okay, we get it.
The fact that
he
he is as defensive as he is tells me he did it.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no reason to be that defensive. Why are you being that defensive to somebody you don't know unless you're guilty?
And Adam just conveniently left the parking garage before the pig man showed up.
Yeah. The way the whole garage is shot is kind of weird.
It's weird. You know, he's taking
Looked
flash
like something
photography
from-
of the guy, and he doesn't notice.
Yeah. In the dark. And there's like, it's a really small parking lot they're in, too.
It's like 4
weird.
cars. That's all you can fit in there.
Right.
It looked like unsolved
It's
mysteries.
not a parking deck. This is a fucking parking garage.
A lot of this looked like a TV reenactment from like an Unsolved Mysteries type show.
Dude, I love that show. Oh my God, it was so good.
Fucking
Rescue
banger.
911. Remember that one?
Allison briefly gains control of Zep's handgun, but is overpowered. Tap hears gunshots, heads over, wounds your boy Zep, but cannot prevent his escape. Gordon, unaware of the chaos, follows instructions. He's had enough of this shit. Saws off his damn foot, shoots at him with the dead man's revolver. So we didn't really go over Zep, but he's quote-unquote revealed to be the guy behind all this at this point. He's another dude from Lost. I forget his real name. Michael Emerson, maybe?
He's the janitor of the hospital.
He's an orderly.
another
Come
one of
on
those
now,
fucking
have some respect
flashbacks.
for
Sorry.
orderlies.
You'll see him in a
Master of the
flashback.
custodial arts.
There you go. That's good.
John's a really interesting person.
Makes him sound like a superhero. Turns out he is actually Jigsaw. What a shock. What a surprise.
Boom.
See,
It's over.
it's so hard to look at this and say, did people bite this the first time? Because I have no fucking memory at this point.
Not really, because the voice is totally different.
The voice is totally different. It's way too early. I'm like, there's still 30 minutes, 20
Well,
minutes
yeah,
left.
it's way too obvious. You don't fucking like give up the ghost that easy.
I was 13 when I watched this for the first time on probably DVD, and I definitely believe that was Jigsaw.
You're like, damn, man, that was a great fucking movie. What can happen next?
Oh my
I'd
God!
love to be a gullible kid again. But yeah, this is the Saw scene. This is what they sell the movie on, right? Joey says, I'm tired of this shit.
He said, "Fuck this shit."
He ties off his leg.
jerking
And
on
I'm
that
like, oh
fucking
God,
chain, dude.
oh
That
God, what are
shit's
you
so
doing?
wild.
What are you doing?
That's like the most realistic. At that point, it's like, all right, I've done all this shit. That's the most realistic acting in the movie to me. It's such a wild, it's like over delivery of the line and everything, but at the same time, I can see myself being that fed up with what's going on.
I've been in this fucking movie for an hour and a half. I want out.
He gets electrocuted and snaps out of it and says, "I'm done," you know.
Zip shoots Tap during the pursuit. R.I.P. Tap. Enters the bathroom and warns Gordon it's too late due to the rules. Adam, surviving a non-fatal gunshot, kills Zep with the toilet tank lid. Gordon vows to return with help after crawling away.
Can we talk about the choreography of, or lack of, with the Danny Glover fight scene?
The like tussle and them getting shot over the shoulder.
It just
What the
looked
fuck?
so awkward.
Fucking damn magazine's just falling out of his gun.
Oh, what the fuck, man?
Did you see the beam he was hiding behind? He was fucking taking cover behind an 8-inch beam, like across.
Yep, he was.
His big ass sticking out of both sides. The camera cuts real fucking quick, so you don't see very much of it. But
which, I mean, he was only on set for 2 days, so I guess they were really trying to get this shit in.
They might have shot this shit first. Who knows?
It seems like they were just in a hurry to get to the actual sawing of the leg and the twist.
The reveal, man.
Like once they started getting to the action portion of it.
And then Adam going ham with the tank, with the toilet tank lid was pretty cool. Again, a lot of this stuff off camera. You see a lot of like viscera and blood flying around, but we don't see any of the physical damage here.
Apparently, he's actually just hitting a bag full of fake blood, like a garbage bag filled with it.
You didn't see the detective's head get blown off. You didn't see him saw off his foot. There's a lot of stuff you don't see.
Yeah. What's the worst thing that we actually do see, honestly?
In the unrated one, it's probably the digging through the guts. This is legit like intestine, and it was really like pig uterus is what they actually used, but it looks very convincing. Like it's literally like blood drenched fucking intestine. It's crazy.
I saw that. I didn't know I was watching the unrated version, but I did see that.
Adam discovers a cassette player in Zepp's possession. As Hello Zepp starts playing, the tape reveals that Zepp was also coerced by Jigsaw. When Jigsaw's voice stops, the seemingly dead body in the bathroom rises to his feet. It's your boy John, and he discloses that the key was in the bathtub all along.
It's that blue thing you talked about at the very beginning of the movie.
Twist, baby. Yeah, it was, he put a fucking light on it and shit, apparently. He really wanted him to find this key. Wouldn't the movie have been over really fucking quick?
This right here is a fucking terrible plot point that's overlooked until Saw 3. Saw 3 actually comes along and ties us up with a bow. But it's fucking
him laying
terrible.
On the ground for 8 hours?
It's probably because there's a bloody poster.
No, they go into why it was laying on his chest and not really like somewhere else. Because he was fucked from the jump. All he had to do was like unlock his shit and he would have been out of there, right? Like you said, He was in there for 5 minutes. But everybody is supposed to be given a chance to get out without having to hurt themselves. Or not these two characters.
So where the hell was Gordon's opportunity?
Shoot Adam. Kill Adam.
Just kill him.
Kill Adam and he just gets out. For Adam, it was just to free yourself. And that was the fucking key that they left laying on his chest.
Tobin Bell plays this character like a very nice guy because he just turns around and tells him the key's in the bathtub.
It was in the bathtub all along.
It's not menacing. It's just like, hey, man, key's in the bathtub. All right, I'm going to get out of here.
He's not a killer, man.
And then we're just assuming that the doctor died in the hallway from blood loss.
Yeah. How did you guys feel about his crawling out scene when he was talking about how he'd be back? Did the acting start to crack right here for you?
Chris, the acting started to crack at the beginning of the movie. With these two.
When they said
when the lights came on.
When Danny Glover came in and couldn't see past his motherfucker's Obi-Wan hood.
No, Danny was fine in my opinion. It's just these two guys. They had a weird chemistry about them in my opinion.
It was Carrie trying to bat 1,000, and the other guy just literally trying to read dialogue.
And yeah, so Zepp is acting here because he had a blood poison situation, and apparently Jigsaw
doesn't make any sense either. Like, why the fuck's he poisoned?
If Jigsaw's like not around to enforce his rules, why wouldn't he just like go to a hospital?
He's the only one that has the antidote, Chris. He's got the antidote for all of it.
Only one.
Here's what's wild to me: they're locked, or I guess they come to, around like 10 a.m. something like that in the room, and they're locked up. They have up until 6 p.m. to figure everything out and kill Adam or whatever to have the situation resolved. They take 8 hours to do nothing.
It's a lot of talking. I feel like they never really entertained the idea of killing each other either, which I think he probably would have done around lunchtime at least.
Around lunchtime. Yeah.
What about Tobin Bell being able to lay there for 8 hours and not fart or like sneeze?
This dude is the fucking performance of the century.
What if he took a nap at some point? He applied his own prosthetics and laid down in corn syrup that apparently looked very, very convincing for 8 hours.
Didn't move a fucking inch.
Okay.
He's
Saw
an
3.
actor, man.
Go watch Saw 3.
Saw 3, it's coming for you.
Saw 3, it clears up a lot of stuff.
Adam tries to shoot John, but gets stunned yet again. We see, for the last fucking time, a flashback sequence. To wrap up the twist, you get about 80 frames of movie in about 10 seconds, reminding you of all the other flashbacks you've already seen. John rolls out, declares game over, and seals Adam in the bathroom. What a nihilistic fucking ending, man. Everyone just fucking dies. Every cop, every person involved.
Hey, that teach you to take pictures of people without their permission.
Well, Adam doesn't necessarily die.
Who the fuck's going to let him out? I guess the implication in my mind was he would starve to death or whatever.
He could try to get in the bathtub. The Jigsaw told him the key's in the bathtub.
Oh, the key's down the fucking drain. I mean, unless your ass...
He's got a magnet.
Can fucking stick your dick down there and pick it up. I mean...
I don't know. How's the plumbing in his bathroom? Is there a plunger? He could probably plunge it out. Seems like there's a lot of clogged up pipes in there.
It could be.
I don't think they have a U-trap like
with
a fucking toilet or with a sink, Chris.
But yeah, that's it. Got a little bit of a Leatherface vibe there when he slams the old door. Says game over.
Tobin Bell is a massive dude.
He's a big boy. He's like 6'5", maybe.
Yeah, when he goes to slam that door, I was like,
I'm gonna
man, that's
when he gets
guy.
up and arches that back, he got the thickness
like,
on
oh,
boy.
God damn.
God damn.
He said, I'm getting too old for this shit. All right, man. That's Saw. That's 2004 in the rear view. Flashback to earlier in this episode. What piece of memorabilia y'all want to take home from this bad boy?
All right, it's gonna sound super gross, but I want like the puzzle that Jigsaw is assembling out of all these skin pieces. You know, like some Ed Gein fucking face skin lampshade or nipple belt.
You want like the dress he's making?
I want the Jigsaw puzzle, skin puzzle. Oh, that'd be so fucking cool.
Does that ever come into play later on in the series?
I don't know unless it's like one of the later movies.
I mean, that's missed opportunity if it has.
Right there on the fucking surface.
What if it's like making the Mona Lisa out of human skin? The piece I want from this film, I thought about the saw, but it's just, I mean, you can buy it at your hardware store. It's lame. Give me that bear trap contraption on Amanda's head. I want to put it on. Just have it around.
Bathroom trap diorama for me. Did y'all notice that fucking thing when they got to his lair?
Dude,
it was like a middle school project of the fucking bathroom. It had like paper towel tubes and shit in there.
Jigsaw's super crafty.
That's fucking cool, man. I remember making like a lighthouse in 4th grade. Just imagine somebody bringing that fucking thing in. So there's 2 men chained to the edges of the room. They're gonna saw off their feet. What the fuck is wrong with Timmy?
I forgot about that. That was very cool.
That was fucking crafty. All right, fellas, wrap it up. Get out the grade books. What letter grade? We handed down to Mr. James Wan for his second entry in the podcast here for Saw from 2004.
I remember watching Saw in theaters as a teen and legit being flabbergasted by the twist ending, all while laughing uncontrollably at Carrie Elwes's screaming and hollering and wallowing on the floor. Even then, he seemed over the top, and as an adult, it hasn't gotten any better. Overacting, and in Lee Whannell's case, underacting aside, Saw is it's a good horror, with its creative and unique concepts being a definitive standout. The plot is serviceable, best described as a disjointed, flashback-driven, non-linear story, which will become a hallmark of the series to come. There's fucking flashbacks within flashbacks. At times, it does feel more like a cop mystery thriller than a horror, but that arc does pay off with the worthwhile confrontation with Jigsaw and the subsequent domino of events. I really like most of the set pieces. They feel gritty, they feel eerie, they feel real, and do a good job at immersing the audience. Billy the Puppet is a spot-on franchise mascot. Great design and implementation as the visual representation of Jigsaw. The pacing is pretty jarring in my experience, however. You can see the framework of what the movie wants to be, but it just feels scattershot a lot of the time. Unrefined, raw. One of the biggest sticking points for me, and it's more so established in the sequels, but the foundation was built here in the original, is the grand idea of Jigsaw not being a killer or murderer or whatever, and just a guy trying to fight injustice and help people appreciate what they have by extreme means. For lack of a better phrase, that's fucking stupid. There's this little thing, it's called second-degree murder, people. Aren't these supposed to be police investigating this serial killer? It's a little nitpicky, but it turns into one of the premises the entire franchise is based on, so it's kind of hard to overlook in my opinion. All in all, it's a fun ride with a lot of starts and stops and multiple turns, for better or worse. 2004's Saw grades out with a C.
Saw was a film I first watched from our local video rental store and maybe caught a few times after on HBO. This thing was always on HBO. I just remember that from this time period. I haven't rewatched it in probably more than 15 years, however, and I can honestly say that I was shocked after this viewing. The film comes off as more of a thriller, which we've alluded to, than a horror film for most of its duration. However, that doesn't take away how good Wan's first installment to this massive franchise actually was. You can easily see how this would spawn sequels due to how many different gadgets and scenarios you can place people within, a la any escape room that you've played. It does lack in acting and the story sputters in parts, which is why the film receives a B from me.
So James Wan has become a big deal in the modern horror world. Watching his first efforts from all those years ago shows how effective he can get simple ideas to click with large audiences. Saw franchise alone has been fruitful enough to be milked 10 times over now. That's crazy. Story's bare bones and full of holes. The effects are mostly handled off camera, which we always bitch about. Some of the acting is rough, and the editing removes most of the scare factor for me. All that said, the big picture simply works. A haunted escape room spun into a movie with that instant water cooler appeal thanks to its ending. It all goes down so cheesy and spicy, like my favorite, flaming hot Cheetos popcorn. Mr. Wan walks away from my class with a B for Saw. All right, let's recap the audience score guesses for this here random treat that we had to entertain this week. We'll start with the low man. It was actually me. I assumed it would be at a 60. Hootie said a 62. Joy said a 70. The actual audience score for Saw is an 84.
Fuck me.
Whoa.
Bananas. That's pretty fucking hot, dude.
People love it.
So that puts us back in our random wheelhouse, boys. Time to spin this sucker yet again to see what Mr. Ryan Hootie will be bringing to the table for the next episode.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, looks like we have landed on Happy Death Day from 2017 by the looks of it. Blind spot for me here.
A rather new film for the show.
For all you fans of our Jennifer's Body review, this goes out to you.
So we are going to watch the trailer for Happy Death Day. If you want to listen along and watch with us, we'll post it on the YouTube. You can hear our banter there. Otherwise, we will see you back here in a bit. All right, boys, if there's a trailer, what's the Rotten Tomato audience score for Happy Death Day, Joseph?
Oh, man, let me hit it with a... I'm going to go back to the well. 69. I think I've been guessing 69 the last fucking 5 or 6 movies.
Considering what we just got out of Saw, I'm going to throw an 80 up on this one.
Jesus.
I was going to do 82. Now
I'm going to tell you, like, modern horror audiences, man, they love that kind of shit. Like, really...
I'm going to do 75.
Sparkly.
All right, folks, thank you for listening. Check out our website, horriblefilmschool.com. You'll find links to all the podcast platforms, the Instagram, the merch store. Give us a follow wherever you go. Leave a review wherever you can. Send us some luscious ASMR cassette tapes. I know Joy would love that.
Oh, baby.
I'm going to say goodbye and offer my support to women jaws deep in a reverse bear trap. Bite down and get that key out of whatever hole that dude shoved it in.
As always, if you're hearing our voices, tell at least one person you know. Spread the love, spread the campaign, and let's all kick back, have some birthday cake, and watch Happy Death Day. And I'm out.
Thanks for all the likes, the subs, the listens, the follows, the downloads. We really appreciate you guys and gals' support as well as your time and attention. Be sure to join us next time where we die over and over and over again with 2017's Happy Death Day. Class dismissed.